Okay, so question 11 is the first question on today's worksheet. In an arithmetic series, term 3, 0, term 8 is 10. So what does that tell us? It means I don't know what the first term is, I don't know what the second term is, but I do know the third term is 0. I don't know the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, or the seventh, but I know the eighth term is 10. So they told me the third term is 0, and they've told me that the eighth term is 10. So what they want me to find out is find the value of a and d. So a is going to be the first term here. I need to find that. And d is the values that we're adding on every single time to get them. So if you think about it logically, I have to get from 0 to 10 by adding the same amount. So let's just do it by trial and error. I could do up in threes. So 0 plus 3 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. That's too much. How about I go up in twos? 0 plus 2 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So it's clearly going up in plus 2s. How could I do that though in a more logical way? Well, I can see that I have to add on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to add on 5 numbers. And if I don't know the number I'm adding on, I could call it x. So I'm starting at 0, and I have to add on x 5 times. Apologies for the background noise. Creche is closed. Equals, and when I add on the x 5 times, it should be equals to 10. So 0 plus how many x's is that? That's 5 x's equals 10. So 5x equals 10. So x equals 10 over 5. X equals 2. Now it's probably easier to do it by trial and error, but that's another way to find out what my common difference is there. So what else do I have to find out? I found out d, so I know that d is 2. I'm adding 2 every time. So now I've got to find out a, the first term. Well, I could just work backwards. So what would I have here if I had to add 2 to get 0? Well, I would not do it by taking 2. So go the opposite direction. Take 2, 0 take 2, minus 2. Minus 2 take 2, minus 4. So if I was adding 2 every time, this sequence would go on perfectly. All right. So next, I found a and I found d. So a is minus 4. Now they want me to find Sn. That means the formula for the series for adding them up. Now it's a set formula. It's n over 2. So this formula is in the log tables, and we've used it over the past couple of days. And we don't know what n is. So n is just going to stay as n. But we can fill in for a and d. So a is going to be minus 4, and plus d is going to be 2. Now working that out, n over 2. 2 times minus 4 is minus 8. 2 times n is 2n, and 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Okay, to simplify that out a bit, we'll leave our n over 2. So minus 8 minus 2 is minus 10. And I still have my plus 2n. So that is my Sn formula. Now, this is where it gets tricky. How many terms of the series must be added so that their sum is 36? What they're saying is all of this adds up to 36. And they want how many terms? They want to know the n value when it all adds up to 36. So this is them saying Sn equals 36. That's what they're saying, and they want me to find out what n is. So, well, if Sn is equal to 36 and I have a formula for Sn, well, I'll just put 36 in for Sn. So 36 equals n over 2 times minus 10 plus 2n. Okay, this 2 is dividing, so I'll bring it across to multiply. So 2 times 36 is equal to n times minus 10 plus 2n. 2 times 36 is 72. N times minus 10 is minus 10n, and n times 2n is 2n squared. It's a quadratic. Something tells me minus b is on the horizon. I'm just going to bring everything to one side. I'll put the n squareds first, the n's next, and when plus 72 comes over, it becomes minus 72. So, minus b formula. This is a. Now again, you can use roof method if you prefer. This is a, b, and c. So, minus b formula. So remember, n is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so let's fill that out. So n is equal to minus b, which is minus 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 10 to b squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is minus 72, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. So n equals 10. Plus minus is plus, so it's 10 plus or minus the square root. I'll work out what's inside in those brackets. So it's 100 plus so that's 676. And underneath is 4. So I'll do the plus one first. So I'll do 10 plus root 676 over 4. So use your fraction button. 10 plus square root of 676 all over 4 equals 9. And the other version for n is when I use a minus instead. I use this minus instead of the plus. So into the calculator, and a minus instead of plus, and I get minus 4. So basically they're saying, how many terms do I have to add together? How many terms in this sequence do I have to add together in order to get 36? Well, I either have to add the first 9 terms together, or the first minus 4 times, which makes no sense. So this is our answer, n equals 9.